This is Serena Williams celebrating one of her many wins.
It is a 14th straight win.
This is her twerking next to Beyonce.
Now I'm the one that's lying.
And this is her joining a high control group. Although Serena has previously credited Jehovah for her wins and even publicly preached to Britney Spears, getting baptized is how you officially become a Jehovah's Witness. And it's also when you commit to living the rest of your life according to whatever the religion tells you to do. Here are 5 things Serena Williams can do now that she's a Jehovah's Witness. Serena Williams is famous for her activism, supporting multiple causes during her career to help feed the hungry and help victims of senseless violence. She now, however, has to be very careful of the causes she supports. Jehovah's Witnesses have never advocated donating to charity. They advocate a lot about donations, but only when it's about donations to the religion. Since Jehovah's Witnesses believe the world is about to end, they don't think any charity should be more important than the religion itself. And while there's nothing outright prohibiting Serena from continuing her invaluable charitable work, she will have to continue avoiding any charitable work that directly benefits the LGBTQ community, as Jehovah's Witnesses cannot show any kind of support towards them.
Shall I put it in the bag or do you want to wear it now?
No, thank you.
What's wrong, honey? You got something against them?
I respect that they have a right to choose their lifestyle, but as a Bible reader,
Excuse me. I'm a Bible reader too. I go to church, and our church is one of the biggest supporters for this marathon. So what are you trying to say?
Displaying courage now will help me display courage in the future. Well, I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we believe the Bible teaches sex is for a man and a woman who are married.
Intolerant people.
If Jehovah's Witnesses can't even wear a free, colorful bracelet to show support, imagine what they would say if someone was publicly supporting the community. Jehovah's Witnesses are allowed to dance, sort of. Since they are a high control group, they don't usually have parties and instead refer to their association outside the cult as gatherings.
But you gotta have fun, right?
True. And we do. See for yourself. I'm having some people over this weekend.
It wasn't the club.
When planning a wedding, Jehovah's Witnesses have to follow strict rules to ensure that dancing is not inappropriate dancing, and even suggest not permitting dancing altogether. Why? Well, because of the dangers of provocative dancing, of course. In an Awake magazine from 2004, when trying to scare young people out of going to youth dance clubs, the religion said, "Then there is the dancing itself. Freak dancing has become very popular, particularly among teenagers in the United States. Typically, the dance is done to hip-hop music with its sexually explicit lyrics. Moreover, the dance itself simulates sexual intercourse. The movements of this type of dance have thus been described as sex with clothes on. Would a Christian youth want to be involved in this type of dancing? Not if he or she wants to please God, who commands us to flee from fornication." She could get away with that when she wasn't baptized, but now that she is, her twerking days with Beyonce or anyone else are over. Jehovah's Witnesses are very much against its followers becoming a professional in any sport. Despite it not being in the Bible, Jehovah's Witnesses have constantly been reminded how they, for some reason, should never pursue anything that would make them famous. And they have singled out sports throughout the whole story of the religion. Take for instance this video they filmed for teenagers in the early 2000s about a young guy who is thinking about maybe committing himself more to his high school sports team.
Running on the track team became the most important thing in my life. But in the spring of my junior year, some things were happening that took my mind off my game. The more I learned about the truth, the more I questioned how important running should be in my life. So step by step, I began rearranging my priorities.
Please tell everyone here what that involved.
Well, for starters, I had to quit the track team.
Was that hard for you?
Yes, it was. I loved running, but the pressure to win was very powerful. And I could see that the deeper I got into sports, the more compromises I might have to make. But most importantly, it would interfere with my new spiritual goals.
The only experiences Jehovah's Witnesses will find about famous people among them in the religion will always paint being famous as bad and pointless, and has to make a false equivalency between pursuing sports and narcissism. And of course, has to also point out how leaving the sport for the religion was the best thing that could have ever happened to them.
When I stood on the podium of glory, I understood that glory among people who don't love you weighs no more than emptiness. If a person dedicates his life to glorifying himself, he will always meet with disappointment and emptiness. So I made the firm decision to escape from karate.
They even have animations made to remind kids how they should never get carried away with their excitement about sports.
Nearly every sport involves a degree of competition, but a win-at-all-costs attitude will just take the fun out of the game. And besides, at Proverbs 16:18, the Bible says that pride is before a crash. So ask yourself, do I enjoy playing with overly competitive and prideful people? Then why would I want to be like that? Putting too much emphasis on sports is like putting too much salt on your food. If you spend too much time watching or playing sports, other things in your life will suffer. That includes your family life, school grades, and the time you need to devote to worship.
The only reason Serena Williams was allowed to pursue her goal was that her father was not a Jehovah's Witness and therefore didn't have to abide by the rules. And while Serena's husband isn't a Jehovah's Witness, Serena herself isn't allowed to encourage her kids to pursue sports. She's not even allowed to. Jehovah's Witnesses are taught to fear anyone who contradicts their religion or has anything negative to say about it.
Your time with the governing body, your time with the responsible brothers from World Headquarters convinces you firsthand that any negative reports that you hear about the organization are lies. And now you can thunder for Jehovah by defending the truth about those whom Christ appointed to take the lead in his organization.
And this implicit obedience is expected to any form of authority in the religion, from the leaders at the top of the religion to the elders of the congregation.
Excuse me. Hey Simone, how you doing?
Good, how are you, Matthias?
Good. You know, we have the congregation cleaning tonight. Any chance you might be able to take care of the bathrooms?
Sure, Matthias. There's nothing I'd love to do more. It's not like I don't do enough of this all day, every day. Oh, and did I mention how much I appreciate all the brothers not calling on me tonight? Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Mommy didn't mean that.
It's okay, Mom. I know you're tired.
That's no excuse. Here, let's go sit together. I was just frustrated. I never should have said that. You know, on the train, I was actually listening to an article about not murmuring against the elders, even if they make mistakes. I guess I should have meditated on that a little more.
The control the religion has over its followers is so big, they're continuously reminded how they are to obey what the leaders say, whether they agree or not.
Life-saving direction that we receive from Jehovah's organization may not appear practical from a human standpoint. All of us must be ready to obey any instructions we may receive, whether these appear sound from a strategic or human standpoint or not. Now is the time for any who may be putting their trust in secular education, material things, or human institutions to adjust their thinking.
Now at this point, you may think that a strong and outspoken woman like Serena wouldn't enjoy being a witness for too long, but if that ever happens, there's unfortunately one less thing she can't do. Once you're baptized as a Jehovah's Witness, there is no valid reason to leave. Changing religions will get you immediately shunned by everyone in the religion, including your family. You're not allowed to have friends outside the religion, and the moment you decide to leave is the moment when everyone in the religion must shun you regardless of how close you were to them.
Well, very good friends of ours decided they wanted to go their own way and leave Jehovah, and in that interim they became bad association for us. We had many good times together. We drove to isolated territory together. We even visited a brother who was sick in hospital to encourage him. I feel heartbroken that they're no longer serving Jehovah.
It's really hard to lose a friend spiritually, very hard.
And you don't even need to leave to be considered bad association. A few bad posts on social media will quickly get people to shun you too.
Are we letting in bad association through social media? Perhaps we can think of another way bad association.
I don't think so. Except for some friends from my old congregation. Wow, they're not doing so well spiritually. I'm letting them share empty speeches with me online. I will try to help them while I still can, but following their posts is not the way to do it.
Serena Williams has sadly joined the ranks of the millions of Jehovah's Witnesses who are trapped inside the religion with no way out. Fortunately for her, she waited to do it until she was an adult and had accomplished everything that she wouldn't be able to accomplish once she was inside the religion. Unfortunately, most Jehovah's Witnesses will never have that chance. Not only because of all the rules we talked about, but because most witnesses will get baptized as children or as early teens at the latest, despite the Bible never registering anyone besides adults getting baptized. To a Jehovah's Witness, since Armageddon is imminent and since only baptized Jehovah's Witnesses can get saved, baptizing their children is a time-pressing matter, and no witness in good standing would allow their kids to even postpone their baptism, to allow the kids to at least follow their dreams before.
The only way you're getting through this storm, the great one, is your relationship with God. Your personal relationship, just like everybody else. Unless you're a toddler, we know how Jehovah will sanctify them. But as you get older, you are responsible. Remember the nice demo? We've mentioned that before. Well, I'm not ready to get baptized. Okay, let's hold off on your driver's license. What? I'm 16, what are you talking about? I'm ready, I know I'm ready. Yeah, you're ready for a driver's license, but you're not ready to dedicate your life. Explain that one to heaven.
Will Serena stay in the religion? I honestly don't know. I'd love to know what you have to say about it because despite the religion being highly oppressive, indoctrination is very powerful. And there is a chance that Miss Williams will get preferential treatment with people bending rules around her. However, if you ask me, it's a shame that someone so strong and influential can fall prey to indoctrination. But who knows, maybe one day she'll end up using her platform, which, by the way, is bigger than the entire Jehovah's Witness religion, to shine light into the terrible acts that the witnesses have done. I don't have a platform nearly that big, so I guess I'm just gonna have to make thousands of videos to compensate. You can help me make more on Patreon or YouTube to see my videos early, or with a quick PayPal donation. I'm trying to post videos more constantly, so I appreciate any coin you can give me. The perfect amount is whatever you wouldn't miss if it fell out of your pocket. Thank you so much to my Patreons, and I'll see you in the next video.